Okay. Here is the to detect anomalies concerning resource consumptions. We need to employ the concept of sliding time windows. Sliding time windows means how often you're gonna monitor the resource consumptions. For the case of queues, like as I mentioned, there are many factors to decide sliding time windows. The first one is average number of jobs entering the queue per time unit, and the next factor is the average processing time per job. So, if you the difference between incoming and outcoming job flows, what will you get from there? You will get the rate of remaining jobs, right? Because if you think about the fluid, like flowing into the hose, if you put more fluid, and then the outgoing fluid is not that fast, then what will happen? The fluid will remain in the hose, right? So it's something like that. If the job incomes the queue very fast, but the execution time is very slow, the size, the queued job, the number of queued jobs will be increasing. So, by dividing available maximum size of the queue by the rate of remaining jobs, you will get time windows, which is the time required to fill up the whole queue. So if the size of the W gets small, you need to monitor very often. But it implies that the cost of the resource consumptions will be very high. Detections at the victim node. Okay. There are two tables here. The left table is from the job flow-based strategies. The right one is from the grid node-based approaches, monitoring the resource consumptions. Right? If for every in attribute at the right table, the number of queued jobs are specified at the parentheses there. So if the sliding time window comes to 10:38, the agent looks back 10 seconds. If we assume the time slide, the window time window is 10 seconds, for example. It looks back for 10 seconds. In this case, from 10:3:18 to 10:3:09, only five jobs are queued here. So if we assume also a threshold to define anomalies as a 20, for example, in this case, this resource consumption looks very normal. Right? If the time slide comes to 10:3:28, you're gonna look back 10 seconds from there. This case from 10:3:19 to 10:3:29, from 10:3:19 to 10:3:29, altogether 24 jobs are queued in a certain queue. So because threshold is 20, we can say that it looks very abnormal. But in this case, but the agent does not immediately trigger defensive actions against those, but simply raises a light alarm to the direct predecessor node. From the left table, which maps handler and job informations here, the handler is very unique for all jobs, for all graph. So if two subjobs have the same handler, they came from one job and divided. So from the left tables, from job 6, which is queued at 10.3.19, from job 6 through job 27, when we check how many handlers are there, so we can know that 20 out of 24 submitted jobs have the same handlers, which means 20 jobs are from the same job, divided from the one job, which means very weird, which means very abnormal. Because if you think about the grid, characteristic of the grid, where a job is divided into many jobs to be run in multiple nodes in parallelizations, or multiple sub-jobs resubmitted to our schedulers again, it's not happen. It doesn't happen very often. Even if some divided jobs gonna assign to or resubmitted to the schedulers, the percentage of the same job is not that high, like 80%. Detection at the source node. So this is different. The target node is outside of the grid, so we don't have any control of the victim server. If we use many hundreds of thousands of computing nodes, and then you're gonna put some malicious code, like a very simple, if you put, have you ever heard about the AB, requesting pages to check how many rows can be requested to a certain web servers. Like a long time ago in South Korea, the incidents happened by the attackers. The major web portals are down by using this type of attacks. The attackers that time used the AB, I heard, requesting so many pages request at a time. So because there is limited capabilities of the web servers, if many requests comes at a time, sometimes the web servers becomes very slow. Like you might experience the Facebook. Sometimes Facebook, if you access, sometimes it's very slow, right? So thus the approach, detect at the attacking nodes is required. So based on the observations, first one is normal behavior of compute nodes is to execute jobs at computational resources in the grid. So when the destinations of most of the network transactions have the same address, this job can be considered very suspicious. Detection at the source nodes continued. When the agent in compute nodes detects packets are sent outside our grid as an execution of the job, it combines job information to raise a light alarm to the direct predecessor agent. The agent in the header node determines from the reported alarms how many subjobs have the same destinations for their network transactions.